Hello everybody, this is Anna, also known as Anna Nita Unravelry. And as always, you can see all the contact information on the screen now if you want to be updated when I upload videos or post something. You can easily follow me around on the social media world. This is a knitting podcast, well, also a crocheting podcast. I would say I have reached the status of crocheter now, so it's a knitting and crocheting podcast. And I try to podcast weekly. The last podcast was not the Easter Sunday, the Sunday before the Easter Sunday. And today is Tuesday, and I'm podcasting 2 days late just because Easter craziness. So yes, but I think I have some nice things to show you. At the beginning, I want to wish you all a happy and very blessed Easter time, because we still celebrate Easter 50 days. So now there are 48 days of Easter left. And yes, so at the end of the episode, I will talk a little bit about my holidays, how I spent them and everything. So I think we should start with fiber content right now. I have no finished objects this week, but a new one. No, 2 new objects you haven't seen before. So let's start. Okay, I will show you the known object first. I haven't worked a lot on it, but I want to show you. So it's the Feathers in the Wind cardigan by Howie Locatelli. I'm knitting this cardigan on 3.5 higher sharps circular needles, on Malabrigo, on Malabrigo Arroyo. So this is a top-down buttoned cardigan, and I'm at the second lace repeat. I'm halfway through now. So this is the first repeat, and then here is the second. As I said before, I'm not sure if these are meant to be leaves or feathers. For me, it looks like a leaf. So, why haven't I done much progress on this? Just because it's lace. It's not difficult at all. But I'm watching TV a lot, to be honest. And I'm listening to audiobooks if I'm not watching TV. So by TV, I mean Netflix and Amazon Prime. I really don't watch TV anymore. Well, for Law and Order, I watch TV because you can't get it on DVD, unfortunately. I don't know why I would buy the whole box of all the seasons, but okay. So I really don't want to make a mistake on the lace, and I'm not used to knitting lace, just because I'm always making mistakes, and then I can't rip back easily because there are all the crazy things you did, like slip, slip, knit, knit two together, and then there were these yarn overs and all that stuff, and then I don't know, oh no, how can I unravel it without making mistakes again? And so yes, I really concentrate on what I'm doing. Although I did this, I made a mistake, but I wanted to show you what I did. I was so proud, really, I was so proud. It was the second time in this cardigan that I was able to repair lace, So, here you can see, at the bottom of this leaf, here are 2 holes. There are always 2 yarn overs, And I have forgotten the second hole. So I have forgotten to make the yarn overs. Not over the whole repeat, but half of the repeat was wrong. So I was doing the wrong side row, and then I was supposed to do another yarn over next to the yarn over of the row before, and then I realized, oh no, there is no yarn over I can do next to. So I thought, okay, I could rip back 2 rows, but then I would ruin the whole thing. I knew it already. So I decided, okay, I tried to explain. I decided, I was supposed to do this hole, so this yarn over, but this yarn over was missing because I didn't do it. So before I did the next yarn over, I lift the bar between the stitches under the spot where the yarn over should have been. I lifted it up on the needle, so 2 rows up, and used it as a stitch, and then I did the next yarn over. And so I hope that was clear. So if you one time in the future will forget to make a yarn over and you are already 2 rows above the mistake, you can still take the bar between 2 stitches. It's difficult to show. Lift it up on the needle and just knit it, and then it looks like you have done a yarn over. You really can't see the difference. So let me see. I can't even tell which of these leaves were the repaired ones. I can't tell. Really. I see no difference. It's awesome. And then I did another mistake in the first repeat segment, in the first lace, you know. And again I was able to correct it. It was something like I had 1 stitch less, and then I don't know anymore. But I have never been able to repair or to fix a mistake in lace. Yeah, next level knitter. Really awesome. Yeah, I still like this. I still love these stitch markers. I love them and I want to have more of them because they are pretty and practical. Yeah. And I love the yarn. It's pretty. It's the colorway is called Sandbank. It's the colorway Hohi suggests in her pattern. She suggests for the first 4 sizes 4 skeins of this yarn. I have 5, just to be safe. There's one thing I really hate, and that is playing yarn chicken. I hate it. I prefer to have 1 skein of yarn in addition, and if I don't need it, I can still use it for another project, for a hat or mittens or something. It's never gone. Yeah. The next project is a new project, and I have to spell something now because I don't know who is watching the podcast, and if this person is watching the podcast. It is for Mothers Day. Okay? I think you'll get it. And it's becoming a loop. So I am crocheting 2 puff stitches in between the 2 puff stitches before, in the row before. So you could call it a V pattern, but it's with puff stitches. Let me see, can I? Yeah. And it's pretty easy. So I will crochet up to, I don't know, I would guess 60 centimeters, like so. I don't know now. And then I will crochet it together at this end, and so it will become a loop. I will decide if I crochet it to a length so that you only can put it over your head, or if you can twist it once and then put it over your head. I still have to decide. But I think the recipient, you know who it is, would prefer, and it would look better around the neck without a twist. Just only 1 loop, so to say. And this is a very, very, very special yarn. You can see how pretty it is. And it is hand dyed, and it has been gifted to me by the lovely Patsy. So, and she calls this colorway Peaches and Cream. So it's the Bear yarn by Knit Picks. It's 70-30 merino and silk. and she dyed it. And this is so perfect. I also love this color. It would look great on me also. But I have decided to make the loop for this special person because this colorway and this special person is a perfect match, really. And it is so soft. I have tried several yarns to make this pattern, but this shows off the pattern perfectly, and it has body, because I tried it with yak and lace, and it was too thin, it was too flat, you know, it wasn't bouncy at all. But with this yarn, it has body, it has structure, it's, you know what I mean? It's not too drapey. It's so pretty. Easy, quick, pretty. And I'm crocheting this with a 3mm hook. Unfortunately, I haven't learned the hook sizes in the American system, but 3mm, okay? Yeah, pretty, and it's so soft. And she gifted me this already over a year ago, I think. And I was touching this yarn so often in the past, and I always wanted to put it in a certain project, but then I found out, no, it's not good for that project, or the other colors don't match with this, and this is, as a standalone color, is just perfect. Really perfect. And the name is just right for that color. It makes me, it looks so tasty. Peaches and Cream by Patsy. Thank you, Patsy. So, okay, and the next project is new also, because last episode I talked about my Stitch in Time blanket and that I don't enjoy the process of doing this anymore. And I have decided to make pillowcases out of the big squares, the 5x5 squares, with the white border. And I wanted to start another kind of memories blanket or a scrappy blanket, just because it's so much fun to play around with all the different minis and all the different colors and fiber contents and that stuff. And it's just pretty, and I like this scrappy blanket look. If it is in a tidy border, then I like it. So, and then I was browsing through YouTube, and as always I looked around in the channel by Claudetta Crochet. So the YouTube channel is called Claudetta Crochet, and she had a tutorial, or has a tutorial, for the granny squares, the pretty simple granny squares. And I tried it and found out, gosh, that's easy. That's really easy and very much fun. And so last episode I showed you my beginning of the blanket with the sport weight yarn. I think it's sport weight. But I also started now a scrappy version. And I have completed the first stripe. And that's the guy. So I always make 4 rounds of the granny stripe pattern and frame it with the white yarn and crochet it together. So I will tell you the colors I know by name. So this is not a Homespun House. This is Gnome Acres, the beverage, pumpkin spice latte, but the Gnome Acres minis aren't enough for one square, but with four rounds. So I added another yarn, but you can't really tell. If you look closely, yes, you can tell it's because he is brown, and don't know, Acres doesn't have brown in it, but yeah. Then I had a not original Gnome Acres mini but a wound mini by a person, so that was enough. And I think it's Kicking Leaves. This was, I think it's called the Knitting Goddess or so. It's just a plain yellow. This was Oceanic, but I have forgotten by which dye now, but I have the tag. This is Jelly Beans wool yarn. I always forget that. Spark, the blue from my starting point. That was a random mini, and I again didn't have enough, so I made another round with this yellow to have enough. I don't know, but very pretty. Or was it? It could be. Wait. No, I think it's not Chocolate Easter Bunny. No, it's not. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, that's so soft. This is, you know, Madeline Tosh Chicory. And that was the first stripe. And this is about 140 to 150 centimeters. So that's the width. I always mess this word up. The width, you know. The bright side of the blanket. And I want to do it, not to cover my bed, but so 140 by 200. Yeah. And then I have started these ones. So this is the yarn I made my fall socks out of, a Styria Indie Dyer. This is Typewriter by Hedgehog Fibers. Gnome Acres Chai Chai. I don't know, I received it in my advent calendar. This you can see is the same is in my shawl. It's Fondant Fiber Cornflower Meadow. No, not Fondant Fiber. Oh yes, Fondant Fiber. Yes, Fondant Fiber Cornflower Meadow. So pretty with white. Chocolate Easter Bunny, but again not enough, so I added 2 yellow rounds. No, 1.5. A Homespun House All Hallows Eve. Andre Sue Knits, I don't know, I received it from Mama to Abigail. Philly G Limeade. And my own hand-dyed yarn, the 90s. So it's not typical for me that I have not woven in the ends, but it was like, I was so lazy during the Easter holidays, so I only wanted to do the fun stuff. So I still have to frame 4 squares, and then I can crochet them together, and I have the second row of granny squares, and it is so much fun. It is quick, it is fun, it is awesome. It is so much more fun than the Cozy Memories blanket or the Stitch in Time blanket. For me, it's way more fun. So I can totally encourage you to start this project, because you will have a blanket in a good amount of time. So in a reasonable amount of time, because this is the work of 1 week. You know, so it's awesome. And I could have done more, but yes, I also wanted to do the other stuff. And then we had Easter, and that means for a Catholic not much spare time. Yes, so, and this is again my pretty bag, and still my pretty yarns for the washed out lives in here. And I think we can start. So I met my knitting friend Karina today. We knitted together, we had breakfast together and knitted a bit. So I crocheted, she knitted. And she said so her yarn arrived. She ordered it at Herbstblatt Regina. and it took her very long to arrive, 3 to 4 weeks. And now she has the yarn. Today or tomorrow she will wind it, and then we can start. Yeah, but just in case someone is watching and has this yarn in the stash, my second color, the pretty Madeleine Tosh blue bonnet, Tosh sock, blue bonnet, yes, only has 395 yards, and I need around 60 yards or 80 yards or so more. Wait, no, I haven't printed out the pattern yet, and it's not enough. And I was thinking just to make more of the first color and begin later just to fade in the second color. But just in case, if someone has this colorway in the stash, in her stash, or in his stash, if it's a guy, it's also nice, and you wanna swap with me or something so that I can get a little bit more of this colorway, it would be awesome. If not, okay, then I have to deal with it and try in general. So in total I have enough yardage, but the second color is a little bit too less. Way too less, to be honest. So if someone is watching and you have a leftover or a whole skein or something, I would also pay if you wanna free your stash and you don't want to use this. So if you have this and you could give me this as a swap, or I would also pay, please contact me. That would be awesome. Tosh sock and blue bonnet, because I looked online and I didn't find the colorway to buy. I don't know. Maybe it's discontinued. I don't know. It is so pretty. Can't be discontinued when it's so pretty. But always the colors I like get discontinued. So this will, I have shown this many times now, but this will be the washout. Clear, and needless to say, just my color palette. Yeah. Okay, everything's here in my pretty bag, and this bag has been sewn by Karina. Yeah. So pretty. So this will be started very soon. So now we come to the end of this section. I have no other projects to show you. Maybe another order of cotton yarn will arrive today, and if it is so, and if it arrives before I have finished editing the podcast, wow, that was grammarful, this sentence, then I will maybe film a little sequence and insert it here so that you can see what I have purchased, because I have decided to crochet this rainbow baby blanket for myself. So I showed you last week, but in adult size, so twice the size, so twice the length and twice the, I can't pronounce this word right, and only in blue, white and brown colors. And I have thought about it and I was browsing through the different cheaper yarn shops online, and I bought it, and I think I paid 50 euro or so. I think about 50 euro for 32 balls of 50 gram. So 32 50-gram balls of yarn, cotton yarn. So I'm so excited. Yeah, and if it arrives, I will show you and I will film it. I will film it and show you in that order. And otherwise, if you are not interested in the blathering section, I can totally understand, and I wish you a very happy crafting week, and we will see each other next week. For those who stay with me for a little longer, I just wanted to tell that I had very, very nice holidays, so it wasn't that warm. Today spring is hitting back, so it's pretty warm. It's summer-like today already. It was very nice. But on, I don't know how to pronounce this day, so on the Thursday before Good Friday, I was attending the liturgy in Stift Heiligenkreuz, so the monastery I studied. So I didn't study in a monastery, but the college is connected to the monastery because the Cistercian monks are teaching there. So in an easy way, I can say I studied in a monastery, but I wasn't living there or something. Only it's just because of the monks, you know. And their liturgy is always so awesome and pretty and festive and worthy. It's really, it's awesome. Yeah, my most favorite place to celebrate liturgy or to attend liturgy. I don't celebrate. I'm not a priest, so I only attend. And on Good Friday, my boyfriend went with me to the church, but he and I, we both were realizing that it is a little bit too cold for him because he is still, and he hasn't recovered completely yet after his influenza. So I decided after the Good Friday liturgy, which took all in all, with adoration and all that stuff, 3.5 hours. And 3 hours of that were in a church which was built 900 years ago. So you can imagine how cold it is in that church. No heating and very high and big church, so freezing cold, about 0 degrees. So I decided that we will celebrate the Easter night in his church, in his parish, and it was lovely. Although it wasn't as festive and as extraordinary as in Stift Heiligenkreuz, because you know you have 80 monks and then all the other, I have forgotten the right word, you know, they are not priests but helping in the liturgy, holding candles and stuff, you know what I mean. I don't know the word now. So all in all, I think there were 90 men making this liturgy so great. Yes, so a normal parish can't do that. But although it was so festive, and it is always, if you are Catholic, you know what I mean. The Easter night is so full of liturgical elements which are so touching. You know, the priest is entering the dark church with the freshly lit Easter candle and is singing Lumen Christi, and we are answering Deo gratias, and we are doing this 3 times. And after that, I think you call it goosebumps, right? If you are so touched that you get goosebumps. Then the old hymn for the Easter candle is sung, and it is called, in Latin it's Exultet. I think you know what I mean. And this is always my most favorite moment of the whole Easter night liturgy.
Exalt, let them exalt, the hosts of heaven. Exalt, let angel ministers of God exalt. Let the trumpet of salvation sound, O Lord, our mighty King's triumph. Be glad, let earth be glad as glory flutter, ablaze with light from her eternal King. Let all corners of the earth be glad, knowing an end to gloom and darkness. Rejoice,
It is such a touching and theological rich hymn. And if the man who is singing this, it's not always the priest. Sometimes it's the priest, or if the priest can't sing that well, a normal man singing the hymn. And this man was so good, and he sang that him so perfectly that I cried all the time. It's every year I'm listening to that hymn already in the days before Easter, just to get used to this emotion, so that I don't cry that much in the liturgy. But every year I'm starting to cry, and it is the whole work of God redeeming us, in the whole history of his love to his church is written and sung in this hymn, and it is always so beautiful. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, you can search on YouTube and type in what you can read on the screen now, and then you will know what I mean. It's so awesome. It is so awesome. And then when you hear the church bells again, because the church bells don't, do you say ring? No. I don't know what the church bell does. So the last time you were hearing the church bells was on the Thursday before Good Friday. And after that, you don't hear any bells. Also not in the liturgy. Yeah, it is so awesome. The Easter night is always... It's the most holy night of the year. And the most precious night. And the... liturgical wise, the richest night of the whole year. Yes, and I'm always so excited. Like, to be honest, I can't hear anything about Edinburgh Yarn Festival anymore, because everyone is talking about this festival and Edinburgh Yarn in the hall and everything, and I can't. Always when the podcasters were talking about that, I was skipping the next segments because I can't hear it anymore. It's already there. I don't know, it's not. But as excited as these people were about the Edinburgh Yarn Festival, I am about the Easter night. And I'm always like a child, like, oh, just 30 more minutes, I can't wait it. And always my boyfriend was asking, everything okay? Because I was like, everything okay? Yes, I'm just too excited, I'm so excited. I don't know, it's just, oh, yeah, okay. Just that. And so we had Thursday, Friday and Saturday and Sunday much liturgy, so we haven't had that much spare time for playing games or something. So we enjoyed the Sunday and Easter Monday. We only relaxed and watched Netflix and ate good food, and we were brunching. Do you also say brunching? So going to a breakfast and lunch with friends, and that was awesome. We were eating breakfast from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It was awesome. Breakfast is my most favorite meal of the whole day, so the most favorite dish or meal, what do you say? Yes, and yesterday I have tried out, I have collected all my strength and braveness to try this new BBC Sherlock Holmes series. With this guy with the half long hair. You know what I mean. Because there's now another Sherlock Holmes series. This is called Elementary. But I don't want to try this, because Sherlock Holmes wouldn't ever work together with a woman. That you can't. It has nothing to do with feminism or something. It's just, for those who have read the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle books, no, it's just, you can't. You can't. No. The only woman Sherlock Holmes really respects is Irene Adler. And all the other women, like Schopenhauer, all that feelings, and they are so weak and not so rational, and so that's Sherlock's opinion. So you can't take a female Watson. That's not possible. But I have to say, I really enjoyed this other Sherlock Holmes series. I think it's called Sherlock, right? I think it's called Sherlock. I really enjoyed it. And I like Watson. He is so cute. And they really did a great job on translating the old London to the nowadays London and characters and so on. Although I would prefer the setting in old London, just because, you know, London is for me the London of Jane Austen, Charles Dickens, and Sherlock Holmes. I like that time in England, just the setting and the costumes and so on. But I watched now two episodes, and I was shocked because I watched the first one, and then I gave my boyfriend the controller. Is it called controller? And I said to him, yeah, you can watch now what you want. I decided to watch this, and now you can decide. And then we didn't really find something, and he said, but you can watch another episode of Sherlock Holmes. It's okay, but keep in mind it takes 90 minutes. And I said, what? I watched 90 minutes now? I can't believe it. It was flying by the time. So that's a good sign, because I am not a movie watcher. Not at all. I can watch 20 episodes of one series at once, but I wouldn't decide to watch a movie just because I know, okay, I will sit and watch for 1.5 or 2 hours now. And then I think, oh no, maybe I want to do something else, and then the movie is still not over, and yeah, I don't know, it's a psychological, I don't know, thing. But this is really, really awesome, and I didn't know that there are only 13-ish episodes online. I really thought, okay, they already have produced 5 seasons, with every season with 20 episodes or so. I really didn't know that it's that huge. So yes, I think today I will watch another episode of Sherlock. I really like it, and I like that they took different tiny things out of the book. For example, in the first episode of the Sherlock series, they took this written, so they thought it could be the German word Rache, so revenge, because Rache is a German word, Rache. But then they realized, oh no, it's Rachel. So okay, and that is out of one of the books by Conan Doyle. Or in the second episode, it was this code, with the numbers that you have to look up a page and a row in a book for a certain word to, how it's called in English, to know what they have written, to translate their code, so to say. And that's also in one of his books by Conan Doyle. So I like these tiny details. For a Sherlock Holmes fan, it's always nice to recognize, oh yes, okay, now I know they did this. It's not the same case, not at all, but the details, so yeah. Yes, so I think, and then another religious thing I just want to put here, because I realized that many of my viewers and followers on Instagram are Christians. I didn't know. I didn't know that there are so many believers in my followers pool, so to say, and I really do appreciate it. I didn't know. So I just wanted to say that I made I don't know the perfect vocabulary for all that stuff. So I'm sorry if I'm saying something wrong, but I did my Easter confession on Monday before Easter, and it was so good because of a certain reason. It was a very good confession after a long time, after 2 years. So I did confess before also, but I will stay with this, okay? It was a very good confession for a certain reason after 2 years of not so good ones. And so now I had this resolution, this Easter resolution for me, to start over completely new, to be a new human, because we say the old human died on the cross So the old Adam died and the new Adam, so Christ, is risen. So we live new lives now. And I wanted to live a new life. And I have decided to refresh my praying, I don't know the English word now. To refresh just my habits of when and how often I pray and what I pray and so on. And I started now to read the daily lectures every day. So the lectures we would read in the Mass, in the Holy Mass. So, and to at least pray one liturgy of the hours. So the morning prayer, and in the best case also the night prayer. So Laudes and Complete it's called in German and Latin. Yeah. So just in case you're interested in religious resolutions. And I started writing my diary again, more in quality, deeper texts. So yeah. So I'm trying to be a new man, a new human after Easter, with the new Easter blessings and Easter grace, so to say. It's not so much about, for me, the New Year's resolution stuff and keeping up something with the new year or stopping bad habits with the new year. It's not, because for me the calendar year isn't really important. So it's, for me, it's more the year of the church, and with the big feasts like Christmas and Easter and so on. These are my milestones in the year. So yes. Okay, so now you know what I have been up to and what I try to keep up with. And I hope you enjoyed the shorter episode today. And we will see each other this week on Sunday, hopefully. And until then, I hope you have a very nice time and enjoy spring. Bye bye.